Welcome, everyone, to the Everything Show, episode 952. I'm your host, Matrixlord212, and I'm with Chris. What's up, Chris?
What's up, guys?
A lot of stuff today.
Mm-hmm.
So what do we got, Chris?
I hope you're ready, because the Venom cinematic universe is going to have two more players in it.
Yeah.
Apparently, we're getting a Black Cat / Silver Sable movie from Sony, and apparently they have said that Venom and this new Black Cat / Silver Sable movie are not connected to the MCU.
And as I said before, Chris, it's called, yes, Marvel, help us with Spider-Man so we don't lose money. Yes, help us with Spider-Man Homecoming and Spider-Man Homecoming 2 and Spider-Man Homecoming 3. And while they know the predictions are coming in, how much money they're going to make for Spider-Man Homecoming, they did a scummy thing, and they're using that popularity, didn't even talk to Marvel about it, doing all these other movies with the money they're probably going to make from Homecoming, and it won't work because Venom can't be without Spider-Man. That's one. So, Chris, and another thing too, Peter Parker is 15, let's just say, right? Or 16, whatever. And he's the same age as Black Cat, but she's not going to be the same age because they want to show this, and that's all they want to show. It's not really a thing like you don't have anybody that informs, oh God, I want to see a Silver Sable movie. Nobody says that.
Yeah, I don't think half the people out there know who that is.
Right. Nobody goes, I can't wait to see a Silver Sable movie, go crazy. Or even a Black Cat movie. Because they wouldn't get their own movie. They were going to get a movie with Aunt May called Glass Ceiling. Remember that?
I
remember
the Aunt May rumors,
okay.
Yeah.
Basically, this is that without Aunt May now. Okay? Now, here's the thing. The whole point of the Black Cat was that she was a cat burglar, and so was her father. Peter Parker as Spider-Man caught them. And then he tried to take her under his wing as like a sidekick. They, fell in love. And it was like a whole thing. Okay? And they always had each other's back, even when he went with Mary Jane and all that. And then even when he was like, the marriage was erased and they're together again, it's like she even at one point wanted him back, that she dated Flash Thompson just to piss him off. So, and when Doc Ock inhabited the body of Spider-Man, he broke her jaw, and now she's a villain because she doesn't know any better what happened. She thought that Peter Parker punched her in the jaw and broke her jaw. So, again, the drama, but you know what? It's not going to work without Spider-Man. And what are they going to have? An alternate Spider-Man? Marvel's not going to allow that. There are restrictions in that contract that they may go legal.
Speaking of the contract, and this is, seeing this now, I think, we can make a sound assumption that the deal with Marvel to get Spider-Man in there, Sony may have only allowed Marvel to use a couple of characters, Spider-Man being the main one, and then they gave them a few villains like Vulture, like Shocker. But in the contract, they said, but we get to keep certain characters and make movies of our own. And Marvel being that they want Spider-Man.
Well, they didn't say they were going to make movies of their own. They just said, we just have the rights to these characters. So now Marvel can't say crap now.
Exactly. So if they have the rights to the characters, nobody can stop them from making a movie.
And they didn't announce it, but they did a scummy thing, Sony. A low-life scummy thing. Because now they're probably going to do the Sinister Six anyway.
I have to tell you, though, I think that they told Marvel that they were going to make movies.
I don't think so.
No, you want to know why? Because I don't think that they would have just put it out there and been like, oh, yeah, by the way, we're making a movie. I'm pretty sure they told them we have the intentions of doing a movie. Because if Marvel was like, oh, well, we could put Venom in this, and they started doing that, that's where you run into trouble. So I'm almost certain that they were like, no, listen, we're going to make movies with Venom and stuff. And
I'm pretty sure they didn't, because if they did, Marvel would have been behind Venom, and Marvel would have put a thing all over their site. They would have been like, yes, us with Sony, because with collaboration with Spider. They're not a part of it.
Well,
They're
how do we
not.
know that they're not though? We don't know. We have to
Well,
wait
here's
and
the
see.
thing I can only say. There was only one thing I could say, and we talked about this. It may be possible that Venom is with them, where they, Peter Parker has his costume ripped in Infinity War, the symbiote binds with him, but then the Avengers pull off these symbiotes and they throw it into space, and Stark builds him a suit in space somewhere, and then the suit comes back, and there's your Venom movie. That
Well,
could
yeah, but
technically
they said that
be.
it's not part of the MCU though.
Well,
so
I don't know. I mean, I honestly think that it's not just those two movies. I think.
Oh no, I
three
think there's
movies.
going to be more. I do.
think it's
yeah.
Sinister Six is a definite movie. I think Doc Ock. They're going to do all that shit. Now, how could you have it without Spider-Man? I mean, who is going to fight these people or whatever to stop them? Like some
Well, you know what's going to
rocket
happen.
racer or like what? Morbius, the living vampire? I mean, like what?
Well, you know what's going to happen. With this Venom movie, they're apparently saying that he's going to be like an anti-hero, which we've seen Venom be in the past, which is fine. I got to tell you, and we were talking about this the other night, I really think the way they're going to go is that he's not going to be an alien. They're going to use the ultimate origin for Venom, and they're going to say that he was created in a lab, because in that version, you don't technically need Spider-Man to do it.
Right.
Now, in the Ultimate comics and in the Ultimate game, Venom needed Spider-Man to become quote-unquote whole. But, I mean, they could eliminate that if they want. They could just say that Carnage is what he needs to become whole or something like that. As far as the Black Cat, Silver Sable one, I agree with you 100%. Why the hell are you making that movie? Nobody's going to go see that.
That is all TNA.
Yeah.
That's all it is. They show you the pictures with the biggest
even further than that, though, they might go the route of being like, well, this is going to be our Wonder Woman. See, we have strong female characters, too.
Right.
And it's not going to work, because these two characters are nowhere near as popular as Wonder Woman.
Correct.
So it's like...
But, I mean, there is a but, though. If Wonder Woman's horrible, then anything can beat Wonder Woman then.
Well, that's true.
And just think about this for a second. Marvel's still not happy about that She-Hulk and Ant-Man comment from fucking shithead over there at DC. So they would love it. I mean, and again, it's not Marvel, but it's weird. I mean, maybe Marvel will help them a little bit. I don't know. But how funny would it be if the Black Cat of all characters, which I'm not saying she's a bad character, because I like her character, beats the Wonder Woman movie? That would be the biggest fucking joke in the history of movies, of comic books. If the Black Cat beats the Wonder Woman movie, they will be embarrassed, DC, beyond belief. And if Marvel even puts out a She-Hulk movie just to screw with them, that would even be hysterical.
Well, I'll tell you what. The one advantage that the Black Cat Silver Sable movie, if that does come out, because anything's possible, but if that movie does come out, the one advantage that they have over Wonder Woman is that Wonder Woman comes out first. If something goes wrong in Wonder Woman, they could see that and say, okay, so this is what we don't do. And here's, then they make sure their movie doesn't make the same mistakes.
Well, isn't the next movie that's a female Ant-Man and the Wasp?
That and then Captain Marvel, I think.
And Captain Marvel will technically be the female alone movie.
Yeah, I'm assuming so.
You can't really count Ant-Man and the Wasp as trying to beat Wonder Woman, because it's not just a female movie.
Yeah, but of course she's also supposed to show up in Infinity War as well.
Right. So I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, Captain Marvel is probably do way better than Wonder Woman ever will. They really turned her into a monumental character in the comics.
It wouldn't surprise me if it does really well.
I'm pretty sure it will do crazy numbers. Probably better than some of them. So, and we got Guardians of the Galaxy already getting 3.
Yeah, yep.
So, that's insane.
I don't know. I got to tell you, as much as I'm confused about this Venom movie, I'm actually kind of excited, because I just want to see what they're going to do, because there's always the off chance that it's good, and if it is, more power to them.
I'm a Venom fan too, but I'm a bigger Black Cat fan. And
Yeah.
I got to tell you, I'm more interested in the Black Cat movie than the Venom movie because it doesn't have Spider-Man in the Venom movie. So I'm like, well, no, I don't want that. So I mean, yeah, you can get away with it with the Black Cat. She turned over a new leaf, and so the Sable turned into a life of being a hero rather than Peter Parker. But and then we got Wonder Man appearing in Guardians of the Galaxy, supposedly, right? Is that a rumor too?
Who was that?
Wonder Man.
Oh yeah, I heard that a while ago. Yeah.
So that's another thing. I mean, Simon Williams just popping in there. These would be another. I mean, with the Guardians. Now, I don't want to change the subject away from Black Cat and whatever, but I just want to say one thing about Guardians of the Galaxy. It's probably going to be the next movie that there's going to be two teams, like they did in the comics. There was the Galactic Guardians and the Guardians of the Galaxy, or something like that. And they had two different teams with two leaders dealing with this super huge threat. I don't know if it was the Universal Church of Truth or something, or the Magus, which was Adam Warlock's evil self, or something. But they may do two teams. I mean, the Guardians of the Galaxy is probably going to become like an Avengers in space. I mean, the team is growing. It just jumped up numbers with this one. So get ready for that. But anyway, back to the Black Cat. They're going to try a Sinister Six. Now I'm trying to think of the heroes that were helping Spidey in the comic. I mean, there's Rocket Racer, but I mean, you're not gonna make a Rocket Racer movie. I mean, that's just dumb. But I mean, what else can you do? Morbius, the Living Vampire? I mean, is Sony gonna do that? I mean, who else? I mean,
well, we don't even know if they're gonna do a Sinister Six movie. I mean, the only thing I can think of really, and this is what puzzles me is, and there's nothing wrong with this, but are they just making a Venom movie? I can't think they're just like, yeah, we're just gonna make one Venom movie. Like, they're gonna want to do more.
Well, here's the thing.
What do you do after that?
Sony Pictures is on the verge of being sold or marketed to be sold. So again, they're all connected, but Sony is huge enough with PlayStation and all that. But their film department, they may decide to sell that. Now there was rumors that they would sell it to Disney and all that, but now that what I see here is that they're going to take advantage of Disney, where they're not going to sell the company. They're going to try to make enough money from Disney to help them out with Spider-Man to have money for these movies. And I honestly think, we talk about DC kind of destroying superhero movies, right? Well, I talk about it. This could really be bad for Marvel. Because even though Marvel's not a part of it, if Venom bombs, Black Cat and some of Sable bomb, and a third movie bombs, that is going to really F up Disney, even though they're not losing money, but it's going to screw them up bad. Because they have to have the Marvel logo with them because they're Marvel characters. And it's going to link them to that, and they're not going to be happy about it. Just like they can't stand it that they have no rights to all the other heroes in the 20th Century Fox. They have to have the Marvel logo all the time, even though they're not doing anything with it. So Marvel's going to get I mean, I think that there's going to be something happening where I wouldn't be, if you told me, oh, Joe, word just came out that Marvel just sued Sony, I would believe it next week or the week after. I would totally believe that they put an injunction or something to stop the production of
It depends on what's in. It depends on what's in the contract.
Because technically, you could stop Venom because he looks like Spider-Man, but like bodybuilding, and he has the same powers.
Yeah, but if in that contract they said you have the rights to Spider-Man, a couple other characters, but we have the rights to other ones, then there's nothing Marvel can do.
But they can't use Venom because Venom looks like Spider-Man.
No, he's a different character altogether.
Well, not really. I mean, it's
a different. He is a different. It's a fact. He's a different character altogether.
I know, but
so if they have the rights to that character, it's just like what they did with Godzilla in 2014. Legendary had the rights to Godzilla. So if in Godzilla 2014 they were like, well, we're going to put Anguirus in this movie, Toho could have been like, no, you're not.
Right. But I kind of think that they're going to look at some type of fine print or something. Just like that. Remember how Joss Whedon was talking crap like, oh, this is great. I'm going to have the twins, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the moment he did that, the guy decided to put in Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver in the X-Men.
Well, fair enough. I mean, if let me say this: if a story comes out that says Marvel didn't know that they were doing a Venom movie, it wasn't in the contract, and they're trying to stop it, then I'd be like, okay, yeah, they can stop it. But I'm telling you, if they were willing to announce that they're doing a Venom movie this close to when it's coming out, because it's not that far away, you know, it sounds to me like
Marvel could say that in the next Spider-Man sequel they're going to put Venom in it.
No, they can't do it now.
Well, they could say it's part of the plans, no?
They'd have to change the plans, which is why I think they knew. I think they knew that they were going to make a Venom movie. And Sony, because Sony had these plans before they even sold it to Marvel, before they even gave Marvel the rights.
Yeah, but you know what? They got scared when they were like all joking around, like, "Oh, when
Amazing Spider-Man 2 didn't work." Yeah.
No. They were like, "Oh, could Life be a prequel to Venom?" I don't know. And then all of a sudden, something happened, and they're like, "Absolutely not."
Right. Well, that was stupidity on their part. They shouldn't have fed into that.
They almost got in trouble because
they shouldn't have fed into that rumor.
Well, but if they were that worried then, why wouldn't they be worried now?
Why would they be worried now? They announced the movie and nothing happened.
Well, nothing happened yet.
Well, no, like I'm saying, if like tomorrow or next week or something, or sometime, or like in a month or two, Marvel comes out and says, "Listen, we had no idea that they were making a Venom movie, and they never told us," then I'd be like, "Yeah, okay, Sony, what the hell are you doing?" But they had plans to do this Venom movie before they even gave Marvel the rights to Spider-Man.
If Marvel's going to strike them on Venom, they're not going to do it like tomorrow. They're going to wait until they get a director. They're going to wait until they start.
They have a director.
Well, they're going to wait until they start doing a little more with the movie, and then they're going to put a stop to it.
But by then it would be too late.
Not really. I mean.
Yeah, I mean, if they took that to court, the judge would be like, "Why didn't you stop this when they first said it?"
They're trying to get it done awfully fast before a lawsuit comes in.
I don't think that's why they're doing it.
I don't know.
I'm telling you, why would they announce the movie if they knew that Marvel was going to sue them? That makes absolutely no sense.
They're in dire straits right now.
They are, but I'm telling you, if they were willing to announce this movie, that means that they told them, "Listen, we're planning to do this movie."
Well, here's the ultimate thing: is this on Marvel.com? Or is Marvel talking about this at all?
But not many people are talking about it other than regular outlets.
With the exception of Dan Slott talking about it on Twitter, because you don't count. Because whatever. I mean, I don't see Marvel talking about it. That worries me.
Because it's not part of the MCU.
But
if they talked about it, then casual fans who make up most of this audience would be like, "Oh, we're going to see Venom in the MCU." And then they go see it, and they're like, "Wait a minute, where's Spider-Man?" You know? And besides, there's not enough about this movie to talk about yet. All we know is that there's a Venom movie. It's coming out October of next year, and apparently Alex Kurtzman is the director.
Okay.
Which to
October of 2018.
Yeah. Which
not
to
2017.
Me,
okay.
No. Which to me means this. If they have a director already, they probably have a script already.
Mm.
And if they have a script already, that means to me that the plans that they had before they gave Spider-Man to Marvel for Disney, that means to me that this is probably the same movie. Whether or not they edited the script or changed the script a bit, who knows? But like I said, if sometime soon or whatever, Marvel comes out with an article that says, "Listen, we're trying to stop it because we had no idea," then I'd be on Marvel's side. I'd be like, yeah, because if Sony didn't tell them, that's a pretty underhanded move.
Now, the Black Cat movie's in 2019?
Is it? I'm not really sure. I didn't see a release date.
I mean, is that going to come out? It's going to come out after Venom, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming it's going to personally, I think that movie is contingent on whether or not Venom does well.
Yeah. Because
if Venom doesn't do well, there's no way a Black Cat...
They're not going to do like Warner does. Like, just, 5 movies, DC, let's go.
Well, I mean, anything's possible with the way Hollywood works now.
I want a little more information. I want to be able to find out.
Also, here's another thing too. The writer, one of the writers for Thor Ragnarok, is attached to this movie.
I know.
So I mean, something tells me here that this has all been planned out, and that both companies knew.
They're saying that Carnage is going to be in the movie now.
That doesn't surprise me. I'm telling you, they're going to do this like ultimate storyline where Carnage is like the byproduct of Venom or something, and he needs Carnage to be whole, like they did in the video game. Except in that video game, Carnage was Spider-Man, so they'll probably change that to Cletus Cassidy or something.
Right.
I mean, I'm interested. Like, I'm not like excited. I'm just interested to see what they do, like what they say they're gonna do. Because I mean, they could come out tomorrow and be like, "Oh yeah, by the way, we're gonna have a Spider-Man in this movie," and we'll be like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah, then I'll be like, I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Yeah, like how the hell does that work? Or you know what they could do? I know you'd love this. They could put Miles Morales in the movie.
Oh.
No, I'm joking. I don't want to see that either.
My thing is this, right? And if he was a character, okay. But to kill Peter Parker, to give him, I was like, no.
Yeah.
I tried so hard. I never liked the Ultimate line at all. Because I know what the purpose of was it. I was in the know, collecting comics, and they really tried to replace the Marvel Universe with something hip, like a B-50, like a 52s, but back then, and it didn't work. Nobody liked it enough to do that. So the Spider-Man comics just prevailed, and that was like, oh yeah, that's a secondary shit. And I was just waiting. I was like, when is this going to end? Because 2099 ended, and this one ended. Marvel tried this gimmick all the time. Heroes were born, all this shit. And you know what? It was only a matter of time before that ended too. But instead of ending that way, they killed off Peter Parker, and Miles Morales is here. And I'm like, oh, that's just fucking great. And then they even had him teaming up with Peter Parker coming in this universe. I'm like, oh, that's fucking terrific too. And again, the person that's doing it all I'm not a fan of his. Now, I don't hate the guy, although that's a strong word. That might be because like some of the characters I guess in his thing, he's not screwing up, but everything that I see, he's screwing up every character there is.
I got to tell you, I remember playing the Ultimate Spider-Man game, and the Green Goblin in the game was like the Hulk, and he had like fire powers.
Yeah.
And I remember that, and I was like, when did this happen?
Right.
Like, what is the point of this?
Why does it look like a demon? Right.
Yeah. And then I saw Electro, and I'm not going to lie. I really like Ultimate Electro's design. But he's annoying in that video game. He's really annoying.
There was that video game that I hated. We beat it too, where they made Peter Parker the villain from the future or some shit.
Oh, was that like
I fucking hated
Shattered
that.
Dimensions or something like that?
I mean, I love the game, but I'm like, oh, come on. I was so mad because even like if it's really Peter Parker, he won't be like that. It's like, come on.
You know what was scary at the end of did you ever play Web of Shadows?
I think I tried, but I stopped.
It's the one with where the
shitty
symbiotes
one with all the symbiotes. Yeah.
At the end of, if you pick the bad ending,
yeah,
he gets the black suit and Black Cat gets like mortally wounded, and he gives her part of the suit so she becomes like symbiote Black Cat, and like he kills Venom. He throws him into a turbine, and he takes control of all the symbiotes, and he's like, well, with great power comes great responsibility, but this is my power to use. And he basically tells Mary Jane to fuck off, and he gets with Black Cat, and they take over New York. And then at the end of the game, Wolverine shows up, but he has a symbiote, but he's in control of it. And they're like, we need you to kill Spider-Man. And he's like, okay. It was really weird. It's really weird.
Spider-Man wouldn't do that. Well, that's the whole thing. It's like he wouldn't. He just
That's
wouldn't.
the bad ending. If you pick the good ending, it's much better.
Damn. Why can't we just have a whole bunch of Spider-Man games out? Like, what's the problem? Why does it take forever now? That's another one. I mean, is it me, or is it harder for them to make video games today than it was back in the day? Because
Yeah, they make less movie titles now.
but not that it has to be a movie title, because we had Spider-Man games that weren't necessarily based on the movies or Hulk games or whatever. But why can't they just pop them out? Like, what's the problem? Why does it have to be?
It's interesting.
I mean, you don't have to have Spider-Man look like Horizon or nothing. I mean, why can't they just pop them out? I mean, it's not rocket science.
Well, I mean, we do have that Spider-Man game that is coming out.
Yeah, but how many years did it take them to make a Spider-Man game?
Yeah, but that one, I got to tell you, that one looks really good, though.
It does.
I love that suit that he has. I hope they adapt that to the movie, to be honest with you.
You know what they should do? You know what I would really like to see, but I don't know if they're allowed to do it. I would go for seeing a noir. Like a Spider-Man noir.
Oh, noir? Yeah.
Noir, because that's totally different.
That'd be interesting.
And it's like the 30s or the 20s?
Yeah, it's like a dimension that looks like the 30s. Yeah.
Right. I would definitely be for that. Because that'd be so freaking...
That would be interesting.
He just showed up in the comic with Miles... Oh, and that's another thing. Miles Morales romantically linked with Gwen Stacy. Isn't Miles Morales 15 and Gwen Stacy like 20-something?
Yeah, isn't he younger? Yeah,
well,
I thought so.
They went to a universe where they're married, or they're going to be the greatest couple in the world, and I guess they have a romance. But when did they decide to de-age her or something? Because she's supposed to be. That's what I don't understand. She's supposed to be older. So it's so weird, disgusting. I don't like. She didn't like. She wouldn't fall with some. Here's the thing, okay? Gwen Stacy wouldn't like. She was attracted to Peter Parker. She wasn't. She didn't know it was Spider-Man. She didn't know. That doesn't mean that she's going to be with every person that has spider powers. Like she's in love with the clone of Spider-Man, and this clone of Spider. And now Miles. I was like, what is this? You know. And honestly, Miles Morales, the guy that created Miles Morales, Bendis, is kind of destroying Miles Morales because he's the one that's supposed to kill Captain America. He kind of like ruined his own characters too. I don't care about Miles Morales. I can't wait for them to kill him off in the comics. I know what the only reason they did that is to have an African American Spider-Man, and that's just, stupid reasoning. But I don't think he ever. Now he's gonna have an animated movie, right?
Yeah, it's coming out in December of 2018.
And that's gonna fail, I think. But we'll see. You like Miles Morales, though, right?
I like the idea of Miles Morales. I don't like what they're doing with him now.
Oh yeah, they're totally like shitting.
I personally, if you asked me, I think that maybe doing an animated movie is okay, but I don't know how well. Again, that's another Sony thing.
That's gonna bomb.
So like, I don't know what the point of it is. Just to have a movie out there, I guess.
But if they're allowed to do Miles Morales, they're allowed to do Noir. They're allowed to do another Spider-Man version then.
Sure.
So then maybe there is an alternate reality Spider-Man in there. In Black Cat and Venom and all that.
I mean, at this point, originally I kind of resisted the idea that you had said with kind of multiple Spider-Men. But honestly, thinking more about it, if they brought back Andrew Garfield,
oh my God,
I don't think that now I don't think that would be a problem. I think that might actually help.
Or even Tobey Maguire, I would lose my shit.
Because I'll tell you what, Andrew Garfield with this movie Hacksaw Ridge, he's become a big name in Hollywood now. I think he's going to get more parts, even if they don't bring him back as Spider-Man.
He would come back in 5 minutes, I bet.
I'll tell you what, I think if they had a Andrew Garfield return, I think more people would probably be okay with that than disappointed. Because I tell you what, I think if Sony can prove that they learned from The Amazing Spider-Man 2 and they kept the villains down and they kept the story in line, I honestly think that they could have two Spider-Man universes going at the same time.
And they could have Emma Stone as Spider-Gwen from an alternate universe. Just give everybody what they want, I guess.
Maybe later on, yeah.
Yeah.
But at first, because I got to tell you, I think that Tom Holland's Spider-Man universe is going to be so different from anything we've ever seen. It's going to be. Too, but, I don't know. I got to tell you, I think that it's going to do well. I don't know if it's going to do as well as they think, because I think the stigma with Spider-Man right now is How many reboots are we going to get?
He should. Here's the thing: he shouldn't be 15 when everybody else is like. He should be part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but Tobey Maguire should be, not like. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't work.
Yeah, I understand what you're saying, but that's not their fault. It was the timing of the movies and the circumstances around Spider-Man. I tell you though, if they were able to somehow, and I think they could have done it, I really do. If they were able to somehow keep, like, say if Spider-Man's in Civil War, but keep who it is under wraps, and then in that movie, Spider-Man shows up and he takes off the mask and it was Tobey Maguire.
That would have been the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Let me tell you something. That probably would have been one of the greatest moments in cinematic history.
Oh, absolutely.
No joke. I
don't doubt it. Absolutely. And we talked about that. You were right. I mean, would be the most amazing thing. Because
it would, and I'll tell you right now, it would have worked because all they would have had to do is said that after what happened in Spider-Man 3, he stopped being Spider-Man for a little while, and then when the Avengers and all that happened, that's when he said, "I have to take up the mantle again."
And he could be married or whatever.
Yeah, and he could have been a little bit older, which would have been fine.
Technically, he could still do it. I think
he could still do it, but it wouldn't be the way that we're thinking now.
But he could still play the part.
He could still play the part. But
I don't think we would mind it that he's a little older either. I don't think it's like. No. I mean, how much older is he really now? I mean, not really.
I mean, really sit back and think about that for a second. Like, you're in the theater, anybody's in the theater, and Spider-Man's in the movie. We've seen him in the trailers. He doesn't say anything in the trailers, but we know he's there. And then in the movie, he takes off the mask, and
I would lose my shit.
Maguire.
I would be like,
people would have gone nuts.
They
would have lost their minds.
And I don't know why people don't want to admit this, some people, but Tobey Maguire was the fucking greatest. I
thought it was pretty good. I mean, there were some things I didn't like about it.
Look, that's Sam Raimi going a little crazy, but then who knows if that's Marvel meddling anyway. Yeah. That could be Marvel meddling anyway, because he didn't want to have Venom at all in the movie.
And you know what would have been even bigger? Is if they didn't announce that they were going to do a solo Spider-Man movie after Civil War until the end of the movie, and then in the crawl where it says Spider-Man will return.
Yeah.
If it would have said Spider-Man will return in Spider-Man 4.
Right.
And that would have been crazy.
Didn't they start having something shot because John Malkovich was the Vulture?
They were going to do the Vulture. Yeah.
John Malkovich was the Vulture. They even talked about Bruce Campbell being Mysterio. And there was going to be like a couple. But it wasn't going to be like them focused as the villains. It was like he caught this person, he caught that person, and then they'd be off screen for the whole movie. And Black Cat even. Because they said finally the Black Cat.
Didn't they say that they wanted Rachel McAdams for Black Cat?
Yeah. Yeah. For 4. And it would have been like a thing, instead of Mary Jane, keep her out of the movie, put her in there, and then at the end, maybe Mary Jane would pop in or something. It'd be like a thing. So. But. There's so many things potential with the original Spider-Man. And again, I really don't like 3. There were some things that was funny, but I didn't like Sandman as a villain. I didn't like, I felt he couldn't carry the movie himself anyway, but I mean, I would have chose Mysterio. I love Mysterio. Mysterio would have been cool.
You could have made Mysterio. You could have almost made a thriller movie with him,
and
with Spider-Man.
And you could have made Lizard, but better Lizard. Because Amazing Spider-Man, I don't like the way the Lizard looks.
Well, that was something that always bothered me, was that they had Doc Connors in Spider-Man 1, and they mentioned him in 1.
They were going to bring him in there eventually. That was the whole point.
He should honestly, he should have been the villain in Spider-Man 3. And in that movie, I've always said this. What they should have done in Spider-Man 3 was
thing at the end will break through or something like.
No. But what I was saying was, take out Sandman, take out that fake Goblin, and take out Venom. Right? I thought what they should have done is, in the movie, at the beginning of the movie, he gets the black suit and he wears it throughout the whole movie, and he fights whatever villain. And then at the end of the movie, he almost kills the villain in the movie, like, really viciously.
Yeah.
And then he realizes, he's like, what the hell am I doing? And you show his personality change throughout the whole movie, like, better than what they did. And then at the end of the movie, Eddie Brock has been throughout the movie and whatnot. At the end of the movie, you see Parker take off the black suit in the church. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the movie, Eddie Brock gets it, and that sets up Spider-Man 4 with just Venom.
Right.
And
they could have did a whole. Here's the thing: he had the costume for a while
Yeah.
before shit went down. They could have had a movie or two with just him in the black suit
Yeah.
and nothing going wrong,
Yeah.
and then do it.
Because I remember in the old Spider-Man show, which is where I was really first introduced to Spider-Man, when he got the black suit at first, it wasn't doing anything negative to him.
Right.
It was giving him nice clothes because it could shapeshift. It made him more self-confident. His spider powers were increased. He didn't need web cartridges because it produced the web fluid naturally. And it wasn't until later on that he started to get more aggressive and angrier, and he fought differently. And then he almost threw the Shocker out of a 14-story building, and the Shocker was like, "Wait, you don't do this." And then that's when Parker was like, "Hey, wait a minute, what am I doing?"
Yeah, the whole thing is that what people don't really know is that when Spider-Man fights the villains, he holds back, his punches, because he could. I mean, they said that because with Doc Ock, he was so tough. He didn't really hold back his punches that much, and Doc Ock was so effed up that he lost paralysis of everything. And then he became like this, by his brain waves, controlling the body until his body died. That's why he had the body swap, and do all that stuff. But it was everybody he held back.
I think a lot of people underestimate just how strong Spider-Man really is.
If he can lift a ton, he could punch somebody's skull in.
Which is why he has such a hard time with Venom, because it's him plus. Yeah. And it's what do I do? I always kind of hear people kind of give Spider-Man the low end of the stick, where they're like, "Oh, he's not that strong." It's yeah, he is.
No, he is. And the thing was that I didn't like it that he was always afraid of Venom. His spider sense didn't work. He would be running and running. I'm like, "Oh, why do we got to have this, right?" But then what they tricked you, because when they brought Ben Reilly on the scene as Scarlet Spider, to try to prove that he was really the real Peter Parker, his spider sense worked. And he kicked the shit out of Venom. He basically didn't give a shit. He had different types of webbing like he used to do. And he shot a web ball in his mouth. And it expanded and it broke the bond between him and Eddie Brock. I was like, holy shit. He defeated everybody. It was crazy. So.
I just want to see a movie where they do Carnage really well, too. I want his first scene to be really scary. He
they got to get
somebody
that's really got that terrifying, Well, Carnage is like the Joker of the Spider.
It's unfortunate, but I would, seeing, James McAvoy in Split, I think he would have been really good as Cletus Cassidy.
He could still do it.
That would be a really cool casting.
But the thing is that he would kill anybody on the ball.
Oh, yeah.
There was no, he's not going to kill him. It doesn't even matter who the person was. It could have been a big person. He killed them.
Yeah.
You didn't know what he was going to do. And it was and then he had the girlfriend, which was Shriek.
Yep.
And the doppelganger, which was his dog, which was the multi-armed thing that left over from Infinity War. Oh, no, Infinity Crusade. Because Infinity Crusade was the third Infinity War one where she was now we're getting into really things. But anyway, there was all these doppelgangers of the heroes. And that was the one that was left alive, was the multi-armed Spider-Man creature thing, whatever. Yeah. Anywho. Now they got this Venom-verse thing, the Spider-Verse. They're trying to milk things. I think that's where Marvel goes wrong. I think that they want to make money with stuff, but then they go too carried away. You got Spider-Verse, keep it at that.
Yeah.
Don't try to let's see a Captain America verse or whatever. Or Thor's. And by the way, Doctor Strange Sorcerer Supreme is one of the books being canceled. Just so you know that. And we called that, by the way, because it went from number 1 to number 99. Remember that?
It dropped off pretty big, yeah.
1 to 99.
Well, you know what I think it is with they do something like Spider-Verse, and
Right.
it does well, and they see it does well, and then they're like, well, let's do a verse for everybody else. They don't let anything be natural, and it's not just Marvel. There's a
Right.
lot of companies that do that now, where they see a trend and they're like, jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Where the key is really, you let these things flow naturally, and that's how you make the money. You know, when you start jumping on things, yeah, it works for a little while,
Well,
but then after a while, people are like, no.
They think it's gonna work like everything. Like they had that kick. Oh, let's do a Thor's comic and
Right,
Hulk's, and
right.
people are like, enough. They're
Yeah.
done with it. Enough. They don't want it anymore. And then Marvel just doesn't know how to reel it in and pull back and say, okay, we know what you want. No, they don't know what you want. So that's the thing. I mean, it would be nice if Marvel just, gives people what they want once in a while instead of doing this crazy stuff. I mean, 2 Nick Furies, 3 Hulks. Well, it's like, I don't even know what this is anymore. I mean, are they trying to be like DC? You know, like DC got all the speedsters and stuff. I mean, are they trying to be like?
I don't know. DC is doing well with their comics, though.
DC's kicking ass with Rebirth. So, all right, that's gonna be it for this edition of the Everything Show. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye for now.